Hello, dear students. So, today we will start our next topic, that is sports and nutrition. Under this, we will cover five topics, that is balanced diet and nutrition, macro and micronutrients, nutritive and non nutritive components of diet. Next, eating for weight control, a healthy weight, pitfalls of dieting, food intolerance, and food myth. Next, sports nutrition and its effect on performance, fluid and meal intake, pre, during, and post competition. And the last is food supplements for children. So, before proceeding to our first topic, that is balanced diet and nutrition, macro and micronutrients, I will give you a quick introduction. No doubt that everyone wants to remain fit and healthy. Food and nutrition play a very vital role in our growth and development. These are helpful for maintaining good health. The requirement of nutrition is essential for every individual, but it is indispensable for the individuals who actively participate in games and sports. With the help of appropriate nutrition, sportsperson can enhance their performance. Even some supplements are also essential to provide proper nutrition to sportsperson. So, food and nutrition plays a vital role in the growth and development of an individual, because nowadays everyone wants to remain fit and healthy. So these nutrients helps in maintaining good health, and for maintaining the good health the requirement of nutrition is essential for every individual. But we know the right amount of taking nutrition according to the workload or according to the participation in games and sports. So, with the help of appropriate nutrition, sportsperson can enhance their performance. Even some food supplements are also essential to provide proper nutrition to sportspersons. Under this, we will discuss about balanced diet and nutrition, macro and micronutrients. Meaning of balanced diet. A balanced diet refers to the intake of edibles which can provide all the essential food constituents necessary for growth and maintenance of the body in definite amount in which they are required by the body. A balanced diet means eating the right amount of food from all food groups. A diet which consists of all the essential food, which are protein, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water in correct proportion, is called balanced diet. In other words, balanced diet is that diet which consists of various constituents of food in accurate and appropriate quality and quantity according to the requirement of an individual. In fact, every individual does not require same type of diet. The diet differs from individual to individual. The following points sum up a balanced diet. A balanced diet must contain all the essential constituents in adequate amount. There must be definite proportion between the different constituents of food. The food should be easily digestible. Cooking of food is necessary because it sterilizes food stuff and make it palatable and easily digestible. So in short term, balanced diet is consist of all kind of nutrients in a right amount of food from all the food groups. Balanced diet is contain the nutrients like protein, carbohydrate, fats, vitamins, minerals and water in correct proportion. And balanced diet refers to the intake of edible which can provide all the essential food constituents which are necessary for growth and development of the body. Or we can say that the balanced diet is that diet which consists of various constituents of food in accurate and appropriate quantity and quality according to the requirement of an individual. Also, a balanced diet must contain all the essential constituents in adequate amount. There must be definite proportion between the different constituents of food. The food should be easily digestible. Cooking of food is necessary because it sterilizes the food stuff and make it palatable and easily digestible. So cooking food is necessary. So this is the meaning of balanced diet. Now we will discuss about the meaning of nutrition. Every individual in this world wants to lead a healthy life. Food is the main basis for maintaining health. So, the knowledge of food and nutrition is essential for every individual. Generally, food and nutrition are considered synonymous with one another, when actually it is not so. In fact, food comprises all those substances that human beings consume for their survival. Food is a mixture of various substances which are essential for life, whereas nutrition is a dynamic process which comprises consumption of food to remain healthy. In fact, nutrition is essentially the process of nourishing or being nourished, the process by which a living organism assimilates food and uses it for growth and replacement of tissues is called nutrition. Nutrition is defined as the science of food and its relationship with health. In other words, it can be said that Nutrition is the science of foods, which comprises the dynamic process in which the consumed food is digested, nutrients are absorbed and distributed to the tissues for utilization, and wastes are disposed of the body. So, nutrition is a science of food. Whatever we are eating is having some nutritive value. Food and nutrition are considered as a synonym with each other. Food comprises of all those substances that human being consumed for their survival, and food is a mixture of various substances, those substances which are essential for our body or for our life. Whereas nutrition is a dynamic process which comprises consumption of food to remain healthy. So, food and nutrition are the synonyms, but their work is entirely different. Nutrition is essential for the process of nourishing and being nourished. It is very essential for our body to be healthy, nourished, and it is a process of nourishing. The process by which a living organism use that food and uses it for growth and development. And it is also the replacement of tissues is called nutrition. So, nutrition is a kind of science, is a science of food which is related to our health. Also, nutrition is a science of food which comprises the dynamic process by which consumed the food is digested, then nutrients are absorbed, then the distribution of the nutrients to the tissues and that utilization, and the last is the waste are disposed of the body. So this is all about nutrition. So nutritions are of two types: macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients, which are required in our body in large amount in daily life, in daily basis, and micronutrients are required in our body in very minute quantity, but it is also on daily basis. So some macronutrients are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, water. So these are the four main micronutrients. So first we will talk about carbohydrates. Macronutrients constitute the majority of individuals' diet. Hence, it can be said that they are taken in large amount. Thus, they supply energy and are needed for growth and maintenance of the body. They include carbohydrates, proteins, fat, and water. So, first we will discuss about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the most important source of energy. They contain the element of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The very first part of the name carbo means that they contain carbon. The second part of the name hyd, which means that contain hydrogen. The third part of the name is ate, which means they contain oxygen. In all carbohydrates, the ratio of hydrogen atoms to the oxygen atoms is 2:1, just like water, that is H2O. Carbohydrates are actually the organic compounds that are important for different digestive operations in our body. There are lots of differences between carbohydrates and the other elements important for nutrition, such as proteins and fats. Generally, it is seen that a diet rich in carbohydrates needs less amount of water in comparison to diet rich in proteins and fats. There are two main types of carbohydrates, that is simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. So glucose, fructose, galactose, sucrose, maltose and lactose are called simple carbohydrates. These carbohydrates are soluble in water. These are crystalline. These are sweet in taste and are called sugar. Starch, dextrins, glycogen and cellulose are called complex carbohydrates and polysaccharides. These are not sweet in taste, they are insoluble in water, they are not crystalline. The main difference between the types of carbohydrates is actually the difference between their chemical compositions. Simple carbohydrates have smaller chain of chemical composition in comparison to complex one. So this is all about the carbohydrates. As you know, carbohydrates is a combination of three words, carbohydrate and ates, which means it a combination of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and its ratio is 2:1. Carbohydrate gives energy to our body, and there are two types of carbohydrates they are rich in diet. Generally, a diet rich in carbohydrate needs less amount of water in comparison to diet rich in protein and fats. And the carbohydrates are of two types, simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. So simple carbohydrate consists glucose, fructose, galactose, sucrose, maltose, lactose, and they are soluble in water, sweet in taste and crystalline. They are sweet in taste and are called sugar. And on the contrary, complex carbohydrates are starch, dextrin, glycogen and cellulose. And these are not sweet in taste, these are not soluble in water, and these are not crystalline. So the main difference of simple and complex carbohydrate is their chemical composition. So the simple carbohydrates have smaller chain of chemical composition in comparison to complex carbohydrate. So this is all about carbohydrates. Next is proteins. Proteins contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sometimes sulfur. Proteins are very large molecules, so they cannot be directly absorbed into our body. So they are turned into amino acids by our digestive system. There are 23 amino acids. Out of these, 9 amino acids must be available in the diet. These amino acids are used by the body to create blood, muscles, nail, skin, hair, and tissues in internal organs. Proteins from new tissues repair the broken tissues, regulate balance of water and acids, transport oxygen and nutrients, and make antibodies. Excessive use of protein in diet, especially animal protein, can result in heart disease, osteoporosis, stroke, and kidney stones. Body requires only 0.36 grams of protein per pound of the ideal body weight. If proteins are not taken in appropriate amount in diet, then we may suffer from deficiency diseases. Marasmus and kwashiorkor are protein deficiency diseases in children. So, as you know, protein is a building blocks to our body. It gives growth to our body. Sometimes protein contains of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sometimes sulfur. And it is proteins is not directly absorbed in the blood, so it will be converted into amino acid. And there are 23 amino acids, out of which 9 amino acids are available in our diet. And protein are good for our body to create blood. It is good for muscles, nails, skin, hairs, and tissues in internal organs. Protein also make new tissues, repair the broken tissues, regulate the balance of water and acids, transport the oxygen and nutrients, and make antibodies. But if you consume protein in excessive amount, it will also give adverse effect, that is heart diseases, osteoporosis, strokes, and kidney stones. Protein, our body requires 0.36 grams of protein per pound of the ideal body weight. So according to your body weight, 0.36 gram of protein per pound is required for human body. If proteins are not taken in appropriate amount, so you may suffer in many deficiency. And there are 2 protein deficiency found in children are marasmus and kwashiorkor. So this is all about proteins. Now we will discuss about fats. Fats contain carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen in the percentage of 76 12 12. That means 76% of carbon, 12% of oxygen, and 12% of hydrogen. Fats are necessary for many body functions. Fats keeps us warm and protects our organs. Fats also helps in production of hormones. Fats can be classified according to their structures. Different types of fats have different characteristics and they react in different ways inside the body. There are three different groups of fat in diet, that is saturated fat, polyunsaturated fat, and monounsaturated fat. The intake of saturated fats increases the chances of heart diseases due to the increase of cholesterol in the blood. Such fats are found in fast food, pastries, and biscuits. The polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats helps in lowering the blood cholesterol. The polyunsaturated fats are slightly better than monounsaturated fats. Fats are essential in diet, but the quantity of intake should be limited. So, this is all about fat. Fat is also a combination of carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen in the ratio of 76 12 12. Fat is necessary for our body functions. It keeps us warm and it protects our organs. Fat is also helps in the production of hormones, and fats are of three types: saturated fat, polyunsaturated fat, and monounsaturated fat. So saturated fat is not good for our health. It increases heart diseases because saturated fat increases the cholesterol in blood and it may lead to heart diseases. And the sources of saturated fats are fast food, pastries, and biscuits. The polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats are lowering the blood cholesterol. The polyunsaturated fat are slightly better than monounsaturated fats, but the fats are necessary in our diet, but in the quantity is very limited. Next is water. Water is a compound which made up of hydrogen and oxygen elements in the ratio of 2:1. Our body contains 90% of water. Water helps in transportation of nutrients to the cells of the body. It is also important for the excretion of waste products. It also regulates the body temperature. It is vital for various chemical reactions taking place in our body. It is essential for body's metabolism. WHO considered water as a macronutrient. Although water is not having any nutrients, but our blood is having 75% of water and our body is having 90% of water. That's why it comes under macronutrients. As a matter of fact, macronutrients are consumed in large amount Water must be taken in large quantity. That's why it can be considered as a part of macronutrients. So this is all about water and macronutrients. Thank you and have a nice day.